My rice pudding should be thickening by now. This is a big problem. I should have used a slightly different rice. I'm gambling here on the quantities that I have used, and I hope that's just enough to cook in time. The kheer pudding is pretty much my entire dish. If this doesn't come out perfectly, I will be going home.
Tessa, do you play the pin and stay safe? Guaranteed place in the top 10? Or do you take your chances and keep that pin and go into the top 10 with it? It's down to you.
I want to be top 10. I'm going to use it.
Good stuff.
On you, Tessa.
Thank you. Yeah, guys. Hey, good luck to you guys.
This is how much processed sugar the average Australian eats in a day, 60 grams, in a week, in a month, and in a year. Way more than we should.
I think mine's a bit higher than that, yeah.
However, when you're a smart cook, you know that there are loads of other ways of getting sweetness into how you cook. Fruit, vegetables, dairy. For this challenge, we want you to bring us a sweet dish, but all other processed sugars, all products with added sugar, they're banned. They're out, you can't use them.
So the rules. 75 minutes to bring us one delicious sweet dish without using any refined or processed sugars.
Wow.
You got an open pantry. The garden is in play. Least impressive dish will send their maker home. Right, guys, you got it?
Yes, George.
Your time starts now.
The first thing I start doing is the panna cotta. I know this needs time to set in the fridge, and so I get onto that straight away. Then I get on to cutting up some ginger, grating that down, and squeezing the juice out to really infuse that flavour into the milk and cream. Then I add some honey to the panna cotta. I'm using 100% natural honey today, and that's going to add the sweetness to the panna cotta that I'm looking for.
Here we go. So what are we making?
So I'm making the traditional kheer, and which is Indian rice pudding.
Rice pudding is a brilliant idea. I mean, you see rice puddings all over the world, and especially that trail through the Middle East, Persia into India, and they're delicious and sweet. So how do you make that sophisticated and MasterChef-y?
Yeah.
Think about that.
I'm actually not reinventing the kheer. I'm doing something that's classical and traditional. The only thing that I'm changing today is I'm using raw honey as my sweetener. Kheer traditionally is a very time-intensive dish. It takes hours and hours to cook on a very low flame. But I've just reduced the quantity so that I can do that job in a few minutes. I hope it's worth it. I'm basically betting it entirely on the success of this pudding.
Is that honey, Simon?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let's see if I can turn honey into honeycomb.
No idea that's gonna work.
Just see. I'm just concerned about Simon's dish. You've got honeycomb, sweetness from the figs, you've got a really sweet syrup. Just don't really get what his dish is at the moment.
I liked the ingredients that you ran out of the pantry with pineapple. I thought straight away, great. Pineapple juice, very, very sweet. So what's the dessert?
I'm going to make sticky rice, and inside I will mix coconut with honey and dates just to give a nice sweetness.
Right.
Then I will roast this one, get the juice out of it, and have a drizzle of that as well.
And what's the ice cream?
Honey, coconut, and yogurt.
Hello.
You have been whisking for a while now. What's going on? What are you making?
It's cream, orange juice, grapefruit juice, zest and a bit of honey for my lady's fingers.
Is that the kind of centre of it? Because
Yep.
you've got a little dough over there.
Yep, so I'm going to roll the filo pastry.
Yep.
It's going to be filled with the cream and then deep fried.
All right, fantastic.
And then making my own verjuice. I think it's coming together. So I'm going to reduce it with orange juice and a bit of honey to make the syrup on top with some nuts and rose petals.
The rice in a kheer is the most important element. The rice, milk, cream should all come together in a beautiful emulsion, very rich and very creamy.
He's doing like a rice pudding. It takes about 45 minutes for a rice pudding to cook.
How you going, Sandeep?
The rice pudding is not thickening.
it a bit...
It's just chewy.
Did the honeycomb not work out?
No, it's just too chewy. Because I haven't used anything to harden it up, it's just a chewy mess and it's not something I could serve.
Get some clarity, Simon.
I'm struggling to see where Simon's head is at right now. It's starting to seem like a few elements being put together, not a dish.
This challenge is crazy intense. Trying to make things sweet using natural sugars is a great idea, but I still haven't really got this dish coming together at all, and I'm freaking out. I decided to go in the pantry to just get some inspiration. The only option I have in my mind at the moment is to make a tuile. I'm gonna have to rely on that tuile to be my crunching element in this dish.
Okay. 5 minutes!
We have 5 minutes to go, and I'm gonna take that tuile out of the oven. I can't leave it in there any longer. It has to be on my dish.
How's your twill, Simon?
Far out. The tuile is looking too blonde. It's not looking great. I'm just gonna have to use it. I'm gonna try and cut the edges off, which are crispy, and just use that as my textural element, and hopefully that'll work.
Are you doing the creme fraiche, Simon?
Yeah. I'm going to get some creme fraiche and add some lemon juice and some lemon zest to that, just to brighten it up.
3, 2, 1.
That's it. Time's up.
Good job, guys. Well done.
Well done.
So good.
They've done some really interesting things. I can't wait to see how they actually eat.
Well, let's not muck around. Let's get the first dish in.
All the best, sir.
Thanks, guys. I've made a breakfast panna cotta with a granola and an orange syrup.
Great colour. Delicious.
Yeah. Good salt hit in the granola, and combine it with the acidity that's there along with the sweetness in the syrup. It's a really lovely dish.
Right, let's get the next dish in. What have you cooked?
I've cooked rice kheer with puris.
It's not a big leap making a rice pudding with honey rather than sugar. Were you not interested in pushing yourself a bit harder?
Every time I've tried to push the boundaries of wanting to do something different.
The rice is cooked well. It's got a nice texture. It's luscious, it's rich, but it's not sweet enough. That's for sure.
And then I eat this bread.
Puris are not, they're not good. It's a bit doughy and a bit blonde.
Yeah.
Tati, what have you cooked?
I made salty sticky rice with coconut inside.
That's stuff I like about the dish. I love those chewy rice balls with a salty, sweet coconut in the middle. It's a great idea. I like the char and the pineapple. But the things that derail me are things like the flavour of the yoghurt and the ice cream, which kind of seems totally at odds with the sticky rice. And again, the syrup is just straight honey.
I made lettuce fingers with orange and grapefruit cream and orange grapefruit Verges honey sauce.
Lovely. Crisp, delicious. Not overly sweet, which is nice. And they're very fresh. That orange syrup really brings them to life. It's really delicious.
Let's get the next dish in.
This walk up to the judges could be the last walk I do in the MasterChef kitchen. I'm really worried that this dish is going to send me home.
Baked figs with a lemon cream and a beetroot molasses.
I'll be honest, I'm a bit surprised. It's not quite you, is it?
No, it's a bit meh, I think, if you could put a sound to it.
Meh.
It's just a bit mediocre.
Are you worried?
Yeah, very actually. I feel sometimes I like to work pretty well under pressure, and today wasn't that day.
I think we need to see it.